Hello everyone, I am Sarika Joshi, Assistant Professor at AISSMS College of Hotel Management and Catering Technology. I welcome you back to my YouTube series, and this time it's based on human resource management. A very well-known American businesswoman once said, if you take good care of your staff when everything is good, they will rally when times go bad. Today, we are here in the times of pandemic when most of the employees need help and resources to sustain in such difficult situation. With my video based on the human resource management introduction, it is very useful to understand how this human resource management came into existence. Let's have a look at the presentation. The first video based on HR series, the evolution of human resource management. During the ancient times, production of goods was done mainly by the skilled artisans and craftsmen. The employer-employee or the master-servant relationship did not arise in their cases, as most of the time their business was managed by themselves or at the most with the help of some of the family members. Later in the ancient civilization period, slaves comprised an important source of manpower. They could be sold or purchased like commodities. The masters of the slaves took a variety of hard work like carrying heavy loads, construction work, digging canals, etc. And they used to pay the remuneration or the compensation to these laborers for their efforts, which could only comprise of the very basic food, shelter, and clothing. Serfdom was widely prevalent during that era. Serfs were engaged by landlords mainly in agricultural operations or some of the allied activities, and in return the landlords would usually give them a piece of land for their habitat and some money in return. The concept of human resource goes back to British Industrial Revolution. It was in the 18th century when the evolution of new people management practices began, and it made an important landmark in the history of HR. There was a discovery of new lands, new routes, and as a consequence, the trade flourished leap and bounds. Rapid industrial revolution took place. Quick and cheap production became the priority of most of the industries, especially factories at that time. These factories later hired thousands of workers because their only motto was to do more and more production with a cheap labor. These factories hired workers who worked for long duty hours, but soon entrepreneurs discovered that the performance and the productivity of these factories depends whether the employees or the laborers are satisfied or not. So to find out, the government then began to intervene or introduce some of the fundamental human rights which would help these laborers to sustain in these factories. The legislation for the Labour Welfare Factories Act 1948 and the Health and Safety at Work Act 1974 came into picture at that time. This was enacted with the prime objective of protecting the workmen employed in these factories against the industrial and the occupational hazards. The Act provided for the health, safety, welfare and other aspects for the workers in these factories. The second rapid development of the HR started at the beginning of the 20th century, when most of the organizations launched a concept of personnel management. The personnel department had large responsibilities. However, it was still a service department. It was dealing with all the employee-related issues and also was responsible for the full compliance with the newly introduced law requirements. Training then came into picture. The training department or the unit became a widely recognized and the respected part of the personnel department. This signified change was introduced after the Second World War where armies developed many training programs for the new soldiers. It had the responsibility on the social and the workplace safety related programs. Everything now was focused onto the productivity of the employees, their betterment and their development. The training helped to develop their skills very fast. That time actually the trade unions also evolved at the same time. The trade unions changed the rules of the game. They played a significant role in improving the role of employees in the organization. The employer also got a reliable partner to discuss with. The trade unions introduced many improvements at no significant cost for the business. Today, though, trade unions are not as strong as they used to be, but many organizations still benefit or suffer with a strong presence of trade union. The Industrial Revolution took place and the introduction of HRM actually began in the early 20th century. This was known as early HRM or the human resource management. New technology allowed the growth of large multinational companies. That was the moment when globalization came into picture. The personnel department now turned into an human resource department. They started to manage the processes and the procedures around the globalized workforce. The second significant change in the history of human resource management was introduced with the new HR practices. Human resource was now had new rules, new roles, new responsibilities. And as the demand of the companies changed, so changed the role of human resource completely. Now leadership and development became crucial process or the part of any business. That's how new trends came into picture. The new trends also were seen in the hospitality industry. Like any other business, the hospitality industry also realized the fact that employees are the most important asset of the organization. Especially in the hotel business, having a qualified and hard-working workforce can showcase a good image of an hotel. The industry has been described now as a people business. The change in the face of the HRM brought in certain new concepts. One of them was an competitive advantage. As new trends brought in new concepts, new ideas, with a wide spread of workforce working in the industry, the quality of HR services became the significant competitive advantage. Not only this, nowadays, managers and leaders have to think differently. The demands by the employees are changing constantly. Not only this, the external environment is also drastically changing. The corporate culture can't be country specific now, and it has to reflect the employees with many nationalities who work in the organization. The international HR management or the human resource management drives global human resource processes and procedures now. With the concept of the corporate culture and bringing in the tablets and the smartphones at the workplace changed the way we work. This is the new wave in the human resource management. Managers now can access data about the organization anywhere, and big data is the next big topic. We have come to an end of this presentation where I have mentioned some of the references. In this video, we learned how HR evolved and its shift from an ancient era to a modern era. I thank the viewers for watching this video, and in this video you have typically understood how the human resource actually evolved. To help you more with this topic or the concept, I request you to attempt the quiz link which is given in the YouTube description box. I shall come up with my next video which will more emphasize about the functions of the human resource management. Till then, take care. Thank you so much.